snacks.
What it do? Snackers, Snackettes, and Snack X's. It's your boy Gage. I'm here with Jokes and Sin. Listen, sound like somebody having a cooking and shaking somewhere back there. I don't know what's going on. Sound like somebody moving some pots or pans back there. Everything okay, Jokes?
Oh no, Tatiana just moving. Was that snacks?
Oh, it's snacks. Yeah.
Okay.
We love snacks. You, ladies and gentlemen, are now tuned in to Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and talk about all things that are happening in pop culture. And today, we mourn the loss of the great E3. Today, we discuss the greatness that is Ocean City Comic-Con.
Hey.
And much, much more. First and foremost, Jokes, you have a job to do. I'm sure you're working on that already because usually slightly ahead of the curve on that, and I appreciate that. What up, Doctor Who? I missed you this weekend. I was really hoping you might sneak up on us at Ocean City. But I do understand that you are running some specials. What's up, Heather? For Meticulous Skin for the holidays. So make sure you shoot us over some information so we can share that. Get everybody up to date on what's going on with you. Sin?
Yes, sir.
Got a job to do.
Yes, and let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, Meticulous Skin, Alex Lee, Ellis Mbe, and Kermit Ferguson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
Absolutely the truth. Look, for those of you who are tuned in, you probably know what our Beacons link does, but it's there for you just in case. Follow us across the board. You know, you might be surprised. Like, even if you feel like you're following us everywhere, you might get there and be like, I didn't realize we're doing that.
How is that possible?
Follow. Or, something like that. So, just sneak in, check it out every now and again. You know what I'm saying? We got a Threads now. So again, is the content the same as where you saw somewhere else? Probably. But is it always going to be the same? Probably not. Because I'm thinking about some new ways to do some things. And because I hate Twitter, and really have for a long time, but especially now, X, Andrew, what up? Definitely in recovery mode. Threads seems to be a good way to be able to post some things and get some links to you guys at the same time. What's up, Mom? So, Threads will be utilized a lot more than Twitter ever was. Also, it's right there. It's already kind of mixed into platforms we're already using. So it's, anyway, Sin?
Yes, sir.
How was your weekend?
Kid lit.
Hey.
Kid lit? And we're going to have to sneak Kid lit down to Ocean City with us for a weekend one year.
That could be fun. That could be fun.
Yeah. I was just thinking.
Yeah,
Sin, how was your weekend, sir?
My weekend was great.
Was it?
It was. It honestly was a great weekend. One of them weekends you look back on and be like, yeah, I kind of needed that. You know what I mean? Type of deal. The con was great. Ocean City is always good to us. We always have a great time in Ocean City. This was a little bit different for us, trying something new. Shout out to Gage for just kind of have some team building, type of stuff, like outside of just running, shooting interviews, all that kind of stuff. Like instead of doing stuff online and digitally, like, while all of us are together, not just the squad, but we had Mari there, we had Gabby there, the admins for the movie club and the anime chat, so having like a whole kind of like Loading Snacks family there, to kind of like, all right, hey, let's just relax afterwards and just play Uno, what I'm saying, just do stuff like that, just do some normal like type of fun stuff since we're all happen to be down there together. It turned out to be really dope, really great. The panel was amazing. Had a lot of people show up and a lot of people participating in it. We really have to get our veto like that because they were just nah.
And
Don't
listen,
talk like that. Like,
the engagement during the panel was absolutely amazing. Like everybody in there was willing to fight one another. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great.
Yeah, it was such a good time. We, interviewed some new people, met some new people down there, which was great, which was dope. You'll see those interviews coming soon. But just overall, this was just a great weekend. Just pound for pound. Like whether we were walking, like whether me and you Gabe were walking to CVS and the liquor store to pick up stuff we didn't have, and we're just being dumb and just cracking jokes the whole time, but just having fun. Like it was that type of vibe and environment. It was good to see Kay actually sit down and hang out with us. He was in his bag having a great time.
Wonderful
you know
time.
What I'm saying? Yeah, like it was just.
Yeah, I had a long talk with Kay, and Kay was like, you know what? I felt like I could just be myself.
we can tell.
You were just, what I mean? But like, yeah.
But it was such a vibe, and I'm looking forward to the next time we get around to whether it's Ocean City again next year, we run it back and just like you said, we have traditions now. You know what I'm saying? Or just what's next. But I think seeds, might have been planted, over the weekend for like future endeavors and just stuff like that. Like it was just really, really dope.
Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
How was your weekend?
It was great. Honestly, mimic pretty much everything the Sin said.
Yes, please. About
yes, please. Yes, please.
He must be trying to get kidnapped.
It's like I'll do chores.
You don't want to do our chores. Yeah.
K Dizzle.
K Dizzle, what up? Yeah, you had a good weekend, huh, Jokes?
Yeah, it was a good time. Real good time. Just like Sin said, like after the con for us, regardless, it's always fun. We go in, we do work, we have fun while we're doing work. But just like I said, just changing the formula up, afterwards, just hey, let's just take some time and just not do what we normally do. Let's just, like you said, play some Uno. Hey, I ain't never played Cards Against Humanity in my life, and that was probably one of the best fun times that I've ever had. I had never played. I'm ready to buy like every expansion for that joke and just
I've already been on Amazon. Looking. Don't worry about that one.
I have to see how that works. But just having that good time afterwards to just chill. We ain't working. We just having some good old fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree. The convention this year was mostly the same as it is every year. Great people, really good time, and growing. Like
definitely,
yeah,
way more. Like I couldn't give you a number. What I can tell you is that the line usually snakes a couple of times, like it snakes inside the building and snakes on the outside of the building. But normally when we get there, we get there early. It hasn't quite gotten to that point yet. And this year, the parking lot was already full when we got there. Mm-hmm. And the line was already ridiculous when we got there. And it just is more proof to me that not only are they doing something right, shout out to James and his wife and their entire team. But is Ocean City more like an anime show or comic show? What's it about? It's more comic than anime, but it's mostly, I would say, like a pop culture convention.
Yeah.
Then I would put it in one pocket versus the other. It is Ocean City Comic Con, and there are definitely comics there, but it feels like it's more about there's a lot of artists, a lot of vendors. He brings in some really great authors, really awesome cosplayers, who and recognize a lot of them from other events you might see. I I think the proof is in the pudding that it's time for 2 days, and they're going to 2 days next year.
2 days.
Which is the only thing that concerns me about the tradition we decided to start this year.
Right.
Considering we'll have to get back up in the morning on Sunday and go back to work.
I thought about that.
I think we may have to all just decide we're staying through Monday.
Yep.
Might have to make Sunday night the new night. That's all I'm saying, is that we might have to. Because I'm going to keep it a buck. We do things the way Loading Snacks does things. You're right, man. There's so many cosplayers. The cosplay competition is a big deal every year, and we miss it every year.
Remember that?
Listen, that first year, we drove up there in the snow. That was the worst.
The doors to the hotel was open the whole time because the line was so long.
Yeah, it was great. It was great, and it was freezing in the lobby because just the snow. Look.
Hey.
Oh, tell Pops we said hi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look. We do things the way we do things. We don't do things the way generally other people do things, which is why I think our panel works as well as it does. It
was good to see returning people coming to the panel.
Like,
that was cool.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, look, we see the same people at the panel every year.
Yeah,
and that's awesome. To not only know that the convention has the return, has people returning every year, but that our panel has people returning every year. And we see the same people willing to fight and eat jelly beans and yeah. If you play Uno with us, just know you can't put down a draw 4 without taking a shot, and that.
So let that soak in.
Pun intended.
It's a whole different strategy. It means that with a 2-day con, we might not be able to do that Saturday night.
More do the Jurassic Park 2 situation, something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think right now we need to make a decision, gentlemen. Do we do 2 panels next year?
I think so. I think it's something up the ante there.
We do a Saturday and a Sunday. That's what I think. I think we do a Saturday and a Sunday. You know what I mean? I already put it out there. I'm thinking like top 10 wrestling finishers, top 10 entrance music, but obviously we could also sneak into being comfortable. We got some things to talk about. I'll be in contact with them. I want to thank everybody who came, who supported us, all of our like new followers, all the new people. What's up, Zane?
Hey.
All the new people, all the returning people, everybody who was returning but wasn't already following us, who followed us. We gave out a bunch of Comic Logic pins, while we were there that had Loading Snacks colors. It was a really good time, and just kind of great to see everyone just kind of, enjoying themselves, which is what it's all about at the end of the day. So, all right, what up, Loki? Jokes. Earlier today, you texted me. Well, you texted the group, dropped an article. E3 is dead. Ain't that right?
Yep.
Is it really? Like, is E3 actually over? Do you think this is it? Because I think this is it.
Yeah, it's very much so looking like if anything, obviously the physical presence of E3, I feel like is going to go away. Now, obviously Jeff Keighley is doing a good job at filling the void of, game announcement, whatever it is you want to call it, that he does between the Game Awards, Summer Game Fest, doing a very good job at that. But definitely the way the E3 has been presented over the last few decades is not going to come back. Maybe if they do figure out a way to have a digital presence, whether it's like, it's hard to tell, like your creators like Microsoft, PlayStation, like come together when they can just do it themselves, put it out on one of their own platforms. So I don't think we'll see E3. I think E3 did what it needed to do during the times, and unfortunately hit the bump that was 2020. They were already having issues even before that really hit, but then it just never recovered fully from it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think E3 outstayed its welcome, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the format for E3 became outdated.
Mm-hmm.
And it took, I'm going to say, somewhere around a decade for it to really sink in with most publishers. And so I just think people were used to doing things the way they were doing them, which was like, oh, it's E3. You have to go to E3. Like, you know, most companies start prepping for E3 in like December of the year before or earlier than that. You know what I mean? By January, at least, they're prepping 6 months out for what they're going to showcase and what they're going to do and what they're going to have ready, what they want to put in front of people. And it also is costing you millions of dollars, right? To be able to be on that stage in front of people. And what that show was designed for originally, which was for game developers and publishers to shop their wares for the coming holiday season to the storefronts that were going to sell their wares. So if you're Nintendo or your Sega and you have, here's the hot new games that are going to be coming out this holiday for our game system, Toys R Us, send somebody to come look at this. Sears, send somebody to come look at this. GameStop, Electronics Boutique, send somebody to come, you know, to come see what are going to be the hot games. Montgomery Ward, come send somebody to take a look at. You know what I'm saying?
Montgomery Ward.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Babbages.
That's the time frame we're talking about, right? And as we move into the Best Buys and the Targets and the Walmarts of the like, hey, send these people. You also have to keep in mind that like little do most people know, but the three of us have some insider baseball that those companies kind of had their own mini E3s every year. So these companies were doing that and kind of showcasing for themselves and then inviting people to come and do that same thing. So like I certainly went when I worked for Best Buy to E3 style events across. Yeah, and I know you did, Jokes, for like, here's all the new stuff that's coming out. Come play this game early. Here's a bunch of stuff to take home with you because they want you to talk about their product to your customers and so forth, right? And that is what E3 really was. It was originally part of the Consumer Electronics Show to say, hey, here's the hot new things that we're coming out with as a company, and we need to showcase them to you so you can order them to have them in your store to sell to your customers because it's going to be the hot thing and everybody's going to want it, right? So that was how they guaranteed themselves sales. But when you are PlayStation and you are seeing a turn where more than 50% of the sales of the product that's on your platform is also sold on your platform directly through you, you don't need to appeal to them the same way anymore, right? And so it's the same thing for Microsoft and the same thing for Nintendo. So those really being the only platform holders, and E3 really seeming like it really is and always has been geared more towards the console space than the PC space. Steam don't need to be there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Valve doesn't really care about E3 and hasn't for a long time. Once PlayStation pulled out in like 2018, it was like, and did their own event, as a matter of fact. Which I would not be surprised if that comes back. So the ESA made a statement today saying, I want you to tell me what you think about this. I'm going to read it to you. After more than 2 decades of hosting an event that has served as a central showcase for the U.S. and global video game industry, the Entertainment Software Association, the ESA, has decided to bring E3 to a close, said Stanley Pierre Louis, president and CEO of the nonprofit trade association that represents the games industry's interests in the United States. Sounds pretty definitive to me. What do you think, Sin?
I think it's over. Yeah, I think they just, you know, like you said, PlayStation pulled out years ago, did their own thing. Everybody's doing their own thing now. 2020 hit heavy. Like it may not be how we would like to see them kind of go out, but
Right.
you know, I mean, it's sad, but you know, it is what it is. E3 has been a staple to, I would probably say, every gamer. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us old school gamers who've been gaming forever. Like E3 has always been a big thing for us. Even to the point where we got to sit down and watch it a few times together, like in the basement or wherever,
Oh.
doing this. You know what I'm saying? Just cool stuff. It's gonna be missed. I think it'll be missed, but like not as far as like we're looking forward to it every year. Just like it had its run, we love it. We'll miss it like in that sense, and we'll, you know, talk about it in conversations and talk about nostalgia of it and big moments that happened at it and all that type of stuff. But I mean, unfortunately, it is what it is over E3, you know, and
It just doesn't seem
they had to be
necessary
fun.
and feels like a waste of money. I think
Yeah, nowadays,
in a
yeah,
lot of ways.
yeah.
I think what Jeff is doing is great.
Mm,
I'm not even positive that it's necessary for him to do what he's doing. But I do think that the difference is like, yeah, if you're EA, you can host your own event whenever you want online and people will tune in and watch it. If you're Ubisoft, they have Ubisoft Forward, they have their own thing. Xbox has their own thing. PlayStation has their own thing. I do think that the difference is when PlayStation announces that they're doing a state of play.
Mm-hmm.
The people who tune into that are the media, us, and PlayStation fans. And that's it.
mm-hmm.
If you're a diehard Xbox or Nintendo,
You're not
you know what
really.
I mean? Or if like they're doing a state of play and it seems to be focused on like a particular game, and
Yeah.
that game in and of itself doesn't really interest you, you're not tuning into that, right? However, if there's something going on like Summer Games Fest, everybody tunes into that. There
Mm-hmm.
are a lot more eyes on that event,
Mm-hmm.
the way E3 was, right? Then Microsoft can get by themselves by doing an Xbox event, because if you don't care about Xbox, you don't care that they're
You
doing
don't
an
care.
event, right? If they're not showing a game that interests you, then you don't care, right? If you don't play racing games at all and they're like, we're doing a special event with a breakdown on everything that is Forza Motorsport, all right, you know what I mean? And the people who are already excited will just get more excited, right? The people who want that information, or the media, you know what I mean, is going to tune in and rebroadcast it or whatever. But when it's Summer Games Fest or TGS, or Gamescom, everybody's watching that at the same time, because the expectation is you're going to put stuff there you haven't put other places, and you're going to try to make sure that the thing you show has some one-upsmanship, because you know that you are directly competing with other people who are also showing their product and content at the same time, right? And so I do think that having it all there makes sense. Andrew is asking, do you think anything else could get changed, like toy expos, since we have streaming? I think that toy expos still have more of a need for people to see things directly. There are some streams that are specifically,
For this, yeah.
toy related. You certainly see it. But
Hasbro does it. Hasbro Pulse. They have their whole
What up,
like
Herb?
they have
what up,
their whole week that they take and like announce all their new toys. Like they'll take each one of their toys. Like, so Power Rangers, Transformers, GI, like they literally will give each toy their own day to focus
right?
on. That way, if you are interested in their toys, but maybe you only care about one batch of the toys than others, here's your day to tune in. And they do the same thing throughout the whole entire week for it.
Right. But it still does the same thing to them, where generally the only people who are tuning in are the people who are already interested in that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I don't know that E3 shutting down would have a direct effect on that specifically, but I do think that just if you look at the sheer number of non streaming focused businesses that have Twitch channels, like a Hasbro, you will see that they know that they have a need. Like if you look at the uptick in community managers, people whose job it is to just deal with social media and do streams and things like that. Sam says, got to pack it in for the night. Appreciate y'all. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful evening. Kidlet, thanks for jumping in quickly and pretending your father said hi. So yeah, I don't know that would be that big of a thing. Thanks, Kidlet. Yeah, I mean, let's pivot for a second. I wasn't going to talk about the Game Awards, but let's talk about the Game Awards because we're here and we're talking about Keely and we're talking about E3. So let's pivot for a second. I don't have a thing prepared like this to be like, oh, let's
Game Awards. Game Awards.
But man, are the Game Awards just, is it too long?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's too long, but for now, granted, there's a lot of categories, and even with some of your Oscars, your Emmys, they do announce some of the awards like off screen. But I feel like the Game Awards, I do feel like they only do like maybe like 3 or 4 of their actual awards where they have somebody come out and present to, and the majority of them are just, oh, here's the category for A, B, and C. Here's your winner, and then just do them just right back to back. And doing it that way seems like maybe it's stretched out a little bit too long. Obviously, announcements are thrown in, performances are thrown in, but maybe if you incorporated the actual presentations for these awards in a little bit differently, maybe it wouldn't feel as long. I'm not sure. But I feel like they just kind of, some of them just get like, oh, here, just take these 5, throw them all together. We're just going to throw these out there and be done with them in like 2 minutes.
So here's the complaints that I'm hearing. People feel like it's clear that like what Jeff Keighley is attempting to achieve with the Game Awards is basically like the Oscars of video games. But people, when they tune in to the Oscars, expect to see, here's the award for this category that contains a movie that I wasn't even thinking about, right? And this particular film or whatever, like, swept all these categories, or all these people keep talking about it. Maybe I should watch that movie I maybe wouldn't, normally watch. And what you're seeing is, yes, there are performances and things like that, but what you are seeing is consistently people coming out who people know and are aware of to present awards in those categories. And they are truly giving kudos and a retrospective to how great the year that just passed is. And the Game Awards, by contrast, because so much of it is, here's a new trailer for a new thing that's coming out next year, is actually much less of a focus on, here's how great 2023 was in games, for instance. Here's all these games, all these categories, and all of these things that happen that make 2023 such a spectacular year in gaming. And instead, that kind of falls to the wayside compared to, if you love games, here's all the stuff to look forward to next year, 2 years, 3 years from now. So to say that it's not a big deal for Kojima to show up on stage with Jordan Peele and talk about a game or show up for the first time, that game's not coming out for at least 2 years. Probably 3.
Probably longer than that.
It might be longer than that, right? But that's why I'm saying at least. So, but that is the thing, that is one of the things that people are talking about the most from the Game Awards, as opposed to people having the conversations about which game got the most awards, or when you look at the categories, how difficult it was of a year this year to really make the decision between this team and this team, or this game and this game, and those kinds of things. And I think there's some real validity there. when I watched the Game Awards this year, I was just kind of watching it the way I always watch it. And more or less, it's E3 with awards thrown in, which, by the way, E3 has awards too every year, right? They always do a best of E3, whatever. Sam, what do you think?
I actually 100% agree, because it's pretty much like to the point when we watch these things, okay, who has Game of the Year? Where are my world premieres? At this point, like that's what that's what we're all going and looking for. You know, who won the big awards, and what world premieres we're going to see. And I agree, it is less focused on the amazing year that we've just had with gaming. I would be cool with pushing those world premieres to Summer Game Fest and doing that stuff there, and kind of like highlight the year, like you said, just the year in gaming. Like Harry Potter wasn't even mentioned, but we know that was a big thing throughout the year. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it was stuff that was missed that should have been highlighted. I think it could do with some reformatting, because right now, what's the Game of the Year? Where's my world premieres? It is what it comes down to right now.
Here's what I think. I think that part of the difficulty for what Jeff is doing is he has to find a way to pay for what he's doing when he does the awards, right? Cuddy says this show right now ran longer than the actual awards for games. You're absolutely yes. We have run longer currently at like 35, 40 minutes than how long it would have taken them to announce all the winners. But again, like you said, Jokes, a lot of them were just like Keely on stage going this, and this. So the other thing I feel about is like, I like Jeff Keely. I like what he's doing, but I do think he needs to fall back. A lot of it, to me, there's a lot of kind of like puffing your chest out and showcasing and look what I did. There's a whole lot of him going, when I saw this game, when I got to play this game 6 months ago, then look what it is now, or whatever. It just feels like a lot of like, look what I did. I'm Jeff. I got to play this before you. And at some point, I feel like Jeff needs to step back, coordinate, maybe come out and announce one or two things. He could do Game of the Year every year if he wants to, or something like that.
Yeah.
I do think he might need to step back and let somebody else host. Let people, not that he's not a host, right? Because he's been hosting things for years. So I do think that he's holding on to those reins, but I feel like he needs to step back. And I can understand how difficult that might be for him to do. But I also think that because he's so ingrained in it, he can't see it. Like, he's not watching the show. He's in the show. And so that changes his perspective. So like he brings on Sydney every year, and Sydney's awesome. And she worked at IGN, for a number of years. She's a good host, but it's also like, why do you have her come out and do like 30 minutes of why is there a pre-show where they're announcing awards and stuff there that's actually advertised, but isn't part of the actual show? Doesn't really make any sense to me. You're paying her to do that, and then you bring her out like maybe 2 more times sporadically throughout. You have all of these famous friends, all of these people. Get someone else to come up and host the show, right? To give some different energy and some new life to it. That's one thing. The other thing I think is you might be right saying that like we might need to separate it. But what I think we need is like a Winter Games Fest. I think there needs to be a night that is, this is dedicated, the award night,
and this is where we're going to announce and have
our Winter Games Fest night, and we're going to showcase all the world premiere stuff. And how you do it, whether you put one before the other or whatever, completely up to you. I do think that if you do that and you don't at least save something for during the award show itself, you're going to have a lot fewer viewers. But what it looks like to me is, because you need to pay to be able to have the venue and get all these people here and blah, 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 clearly there are publishers and developers who are paying to have their games put on stage at this show to get eyes in front of it. Because for a long time, over the 10 years of Game Awards have been happening, people were like, why is there a dude dressed up like a big shaving thing interrupting all of this stuff or whatever? It's because somebody's got to pay for this. And that's how he's got to do it. This is streamed on the internet, and it doesn't have commercials. And so to throw ads in is very difficult, and how to do it without it feeling like you're watching a walking advertisement. But for a lot of people, what I heard from a lot of people who don't normally watch the Game Awards, but were like, okay, Game Awards, I like games, let me check it out, literally felt like they were just watching an advertisement. Like they just felt like they were watching a long commercial, because you would spend 4 minutes with like 5 back-to-back trailers.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'd be like, here comes an award, or here's a musical guest, you know what I mean, or something like that. So I do think it needs some reformatting, and I think maybe going to 2 days over a weekend and being like, this is awards night, and this is Winter Games Fest night, you know what I mean, or something like that to kind of lead through it. I think is maybe
the way
where they,
Agreed.
I just, to be honest, I'd keep watching the Game Awards as it is, but again, mostly I want to see if the ones in the categories I care about won, but mostly I'm like, what's the new thing? And that's how we are. Like, that's just how we are as gamers and as consumers. What's the next thing? You know what I'm saying? Baldur's Gate, dope. What's the next joint? What are they going to do next? It's going to be 10 years before we get that, right? In the same week that this happened, Rockstar's like, oh, here's a GTA trailer. And that's what people are talking about. If they had put that trailer on the Game Awards, it would not have mattered that Kojima came out.
Nope. GTA 6.
All people would have talked about is GTA 6, right?
It wouldn't have made it
at all, right? So I think like as there's more crossover and we're seeing things like The Last of Us be a great show, and therefore you have great actors that are going to show up at the Game Awards, or you have Anthony Mackie show up at the Game Awards because Twisted Metal, and you have, you know what I mean? And you're seeing more and more actors and actresses get into doing voice work and motion capture work for video games because of what the medium is and how much money the medium makes. I think you'll continue to see that, but it might need to be a different format.
Little tweaks.
I think.
Yeah, agreed.
Just some tweaks, because the thing is, I think they do. I think the shell of everything is great. It's just that execution and putting, I kind of would say, it just needs to be tweaked a little bit. And I think they can have something. Don't get me wrong, Jeff Keighley's been doing fairly well at this, but after a while, when you don't change things, it starts to get a little bit.
You become E3. You become E3.
Wasn't going to say it just yet, but yeah, you become E3.
I will, because the thing about it is Jeff does the same show three times throughout the year. Between Summer Games Fest, him doing opening night live for Gamescom, and then doing the Game Awards, he is almost essentially hosting the exact same thing 3 times in a row over the year. Okay, dude, you got a lot of control. You're the person with the hands behind it. We don't need to see you that much. You know what I mean? And it's like, I like Jeff Keighley, but like, we don't need to see you that much. Go back and orchestrate what you have to orchestrate.
Switch it up, hosting
and get somebody else to come out and present it. I don't need to listen to you every year go off about how well you know Kojima, and then like you try to hug him and he looks like he don't actually really care about it. As cool or as important as the people. Like Kojima posts at least once a week a post of him with somebody. Famous, some famous actor that he loves or respects or whatever. He don't post Jeff Keighley.
Nah, I don't think I've ever
Jeff
seen
Keighley post him. That's all I'm saying. So like, you know what I mean? You could have brought Jordan Peele out and had Jordan Peele bring Kojima out. See what I'm saying? Speaking of that, we need to talk about that Kojima trailer real quick. I wish I had it loaded up. All right, so here's the thing. People have dug deep into this trailer. And so when the last guy whose face is on the screen, the German dude, is on the screen, they have paused it and gone through, and there are words that show up in his mouth.
Yeah.
And they're Japanese. And apparently, the kanji translates roughly to Silent
Hill.
Also, I don't know if y'all noticed this, but when Kojima walked out and when Jordan Peele walked out, the door they walked out of onto the stage was the door.
It was the PT. Yes.
So now people are like,
okay,
oh, he's crazy.
That sums it up.
He might actually be doing. So then I heard somebody today who was like, but PT was supposed to be like this PlayStation exclusive. That was when he was with Konami. Konami owns it. But if you look at what Konami's been doing recently, like they've been kind of leaning into like let people do. All right, we're gonna push, do a little something here. We're gonna do a little something with this here. The way Microsoft been throwing money around, there is no part of me that doesn't believe.
We need you to come up off those PT rights.
That listen.
Hey, hold up. They go to WWE with Yeet jokes.
Yeah, like we need you to come up off the rights to PT right quick.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, I could see Microsoft dropping some money off at Konami and being like, listen, we want to do this, and we want him to do it. Man, we get a PT revival. I know you will. But he walked out the door. Like, Jordan Peele, of all people, walked out the PT door at the Game Awards. This is so much bigger than any award they gave out for 2023. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, I'm just saying that it does not, like, there's the world in which Microsoft would spend $70 billion to buy Activision, would walk into Konami and be like, look at here. We know y'all didn't end on good terms, but listen, we're trying to get a license. We want to do Silent Hill. You know what I'm saying? And then working that out and negotiate, because this is a Microsoft exclusive title.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be funny.
And Konami has been talking about doing like Silent Hill stuff. Bro, it just wouldn't surprise me at all. And Kojima's so weird, bro. He's so weird, bro. And like, if in some way, dog, here's the thing. I could very easily see Jordan Peele being in talks with them to be like, we'll do this game, whatever this is, and then I'm gonna do a Silent Hill movie. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna do like and that's gonna be where PT goes or something like that. Like, are you kidding me?
The potential, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just because he's like, it's a game, but it's not a game, but it's unlike anything you've ever seen before. And then for Kojima to just be like, I just want to make it clear that like Jordan Peele's not the only like big name I'm working with. I see you posting. Right. I see you. You know what I'm saying? So like to say that at the game in front of Jordan Peele,
mm-hmm.
And then for Jordan Peele to still be like, I just want y'all to know this dude right here is crazy. It's crazy. So like it wouldn't surprise me at all. Just remember that if that happens, y'all heard it here first. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, Game Pass exclusive.
If it does happen to be Silent Hill, y'all know I ain't touching it with a 10-foot pole. Leave that to y'all.
Listen, I know, bro.
Hey, look, you may change your mind. Who knows?
I played the first one. I'm good, my guy.
but at the same time, though, but like you played all the Resident Evils.
Yeah. Plus, it ain't no Jordan Peele /
I didn't play 8, but all the
But I played the other 7.
So like,
yeah. And look, when you run around with the hammers, yeah, it was good.
But I played the other 7 though. I draw the line at 8.
About all you have is a physical hammer. That's about it. It's in.
Yeah.
Kojima and Del Toro.
Possible.
I mean, they were already They were supposed to be working together already. So like, that was what PT was Kojima and Del Toro. So it wouldn't.
And Heavy Rain.
They're doing Death Stranding.
Heavy Rain. Not Heavy Rain.
Death Stranding too.
Yeah, thank you. Death Stranding. Yeah, that's what
they're doing Death Stranding too. So that's already happening. You know what I mean? Sin.
Yeah.
You have approximately 1 minute and 15 seconds to go off about Godzilla Minus One.
Starting now.
You know, the other week when we did like our top movies of the year and TV shows and stuff like that, and I said, yeah, there's some stuff I have to watch. I intend to still watch those, but I can tell you hands down, it is Godzilla Minus One is #1 movie of the year. There's above it, as much as I love John Wick 4, as much as I personally love the Fast and the Furious, nothing comes close to Godzilla. Yes, it is a Godzilla film. What they did with $15 million was incredible. But the story, the human story that's told in between watching Godzilla do his thing is incredible. It's emotional. It will pull at your heartstrings the whole 9 yards. It's a beautiful drama. Like, it was very unexpected going into a Godzilla film and getting that. And it's like now going forward, it's like, yeah, y'all can't do anything less than what you did with this one.
That's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, like
that comes from superhero movies actually having human touches, right? Like,
yeah, they got it right, 1,000%. It is so good, and just because it's subtitle, don't let that turn you off. If you're not into reading subtitles, I say go and just enjoy it and just witness this beautiful masterpiece for yourself. I did not see this coming into this. I want to see Godzilla wreck shop. That's what I was going for, but I came out thoroughly surprised and very, very happy. And yeah, right now it's my movie of the year.
So it is the highest grossing live action Japanese film to release in the US ever. And now followed closely by The Boy and the Heron, the new Miyazaki Studio Ghibli film. Did like $12.8 million over the weekend. Knocked Beyonce off the top.
Yeet.
Get it out of here. Yeah, I mean, look, it's that time. So everybody go see Godzilla Minus One. That's where you at.
Yes.
In the theater.
Yes.
I've been told like it is like if you can go to like a 4D theater, like absolutely pay the money, it's worth it.
That or like I said, IMAX, Dolby Digital, something that gives you that sound because you need it when Godzilla goes off. Trust me, when he does his atomic breath, it is in this movie. It's just different. He just built different.
It's just hit different.
Hey, no, Godzilla staying on business in this. He don't play. He's actually very scary.
Try to see both of those at some point this week before the week is out. We'll see how that goes. Jokes. I need to talk to you about Fortnite. I need to talk to you about Fortnite. When's the last time you played Fortnite, Jokes?
Right before we started the show.
My man.
That was somebody else. I was confused. I looked at Disco and I was like, where's your Fortnite? Thought it was Grand Theft.
Hey, bro, listen. Fortnite is unstoppable right now.
Very much so.
Epic is unstoppable right now. What they did last week with the most recent update, bro. I know you've seen the trailer sent for like the Lego Fortnite.
Yes.
Thing. They kept talking about this festival at the main stage thing in Fortnite with Eminem and whatever. And then this rocket racing. All three are full, brand new games that exist within Fortnite. You boot Fortnite, free to play. You jump in, and now it is just a platform. When you sign in, you see those three options. You can jump into one of these things, and then they have all this other stuff that all these people have created. It's a little crazy. Jokes. Festival main stage. Because I know that's where you've been.
On and off there. No, I've been in rocket racing. I'm actually.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Hey,
listen. If
that Lowe's nice DLC for Fortnite. My coding skills are
MySpace.
Currently, I can.
You can do a lot. I know you can do a little bit, but
I mean, I got the Lotus Nice logo in Grand Theft.
Yeah, we got the members only jackets. You know what I'm saying? Grand Theft, come on now.
Let's not. Man, listen. I would love to, and maybe we'll get there. I would love to see it. All right, so let's talk about rocket racing. Then Jokes, let's talk about it.
I'll go into both of them, but so rocket racing. So initially, when it first was announced, my first thought was like, this looks like Rocket League, like it looks like the cars and everything, and of course, it is an expansion of Rocket League. So first, if you've played Rocket League, and obviously it's epic, if you log in certain cars and add-ons and parts that you've gotten in that game will transfer over into Fortnite. So when I logged in, I had like rims, colors, all this stuff that I've unlocked from there show up in this game. But the racing, it's nothing. It's not reinventing the wheel, but it's fun. Like you just jump in here, and it's just
platforming.
Yes,
in like a racing
game. Like literally, I'm jump like. Hey, listen, I love Speed Racer. So when I found out you could jump with the car, having like the jacks on the bottom, I was like, okay, this is something here. But it's just fun. Like, and it doesn't really need you to be this master of playing a racing game. It is very simple to get in and play it, which makes it even better.
Well, hold on. Have you tried the more difficult races?
Yes, I have.
Them joints ain't no joke. I don't know. Like,
I can't think of the name.
Like, need to play like the start at the beginning.
Start at the beginning and work your way up. Because if you jump to some of those other, either way, it's clean. It's fun. It's if you can get into play with your friends with, like, listen, it's just dope racing that you can get into. I love it.
You, kind of here's what's going on. So I'm looking at Fortnite right now because I just want to share this. So the way that they have it set up is almost like Steam. You know, you can go on Steam and you can see like how many concurrent players are playing a particular thing. So the festival main stage right now has 192.7 thousand people playing it. Lego Fortnite, which I'm gonna talk about in a second, has 886,000 people playing it right now.
I believe it.
Rocket Racing has 121,000 people playing it right now, while regular just Battle Royale Fortnite has 590.5 thousand people playing right now. Zero Build has 478.9 thousand people playing right now.
Zero Build,
that's your bag jokes.
That is my joke.
Ranked Battle Royale has 282.9 thousand people playing right now. They have a like an offset called Octo Game, which looks like
Squid Game.
Squid Game?
Yeah. Yes.
Almost 10,000 people playing that right now. There is something called Prop Hunt Home Alone, like Home Alone movie. 19,000 people playing that right now. 1v1, 12.2 thousand people playing right now. Titled Zone Wars. Tilted Zone Wars. So like literally like all of the like things that you play on, everything's tilted. 62,000 people playing right now. It is out of control, dog. Like it's out of control. What people are creating. There is a joint on here called Diablo Night, which is like Fortnite / Diablo. It's only got like 19 people playing, but somebody made it, and it's just probably in there playing with their friends. They got a joint called Zombie Rush City, 78 people playing. So like, probably the closest competitor to what Fortnite has been Roblox, and that's what Roblox is. Like Roblox is like people go in, make their own games, and then people just go in and they play those games. And Fortnite has turned into that. There is a joint called Age of Heroes. So it's like you can only use the people in the skins or whatever that are DC and Marvel or whatever. That joint has almost 7,000 people playing it right now. It is insane. It's insane. And those are just games. Those are not like the official game.
Right. Right.
There's a murder mystery joint that's on there now. 5,500 people playing that. It's crazy, dog. So
it can't be stopped.
Let's talk about Lego Fortnite for a second, and then we're gonna talk about Festival Main Stage.
Oh yeah, I'll go.
Lego Fortnite is basically Minecraft, except you're using Legos. It is Minecraft. You go in, you have your own world, you build your houses, you dig, whatever, build your house and stuff. Y'all can go off and might have to get into a little fight or whatever. You come back, your house is still there. It basically is exactly what Minecraft is. And in fact, it is probably the only thing that could rival the incredible heights that Minecraft is right now. and for it to be free already inside of Fortnite is crazy. Because he said, we all know the power of Lego here. No joke. Listen.
Hey, bro.
The fact that they're like, all right, so here's the thing. So Donald Mustard, who retired from Epic like earlier this year, put out a tweet like yesterday or earlier today that literally was like, what Fortnite is right now is exactly what we planned for it to be. What's up, Alfonso?
Yo.
6 years ago. And literally posted an image that is dated from 6 years ago, where literally it's like a little bubble with Fortnite in the middle, and then an offshoot that says music game, racing game. So literally it's just like, so they went and they bought Psyonix that made Rocket League.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, they're incorporating that into it and have them working on the driving physics and stuff in main Fortnite. Now they have their own racing game. And it's kind of like, well, if they were still their own company, it feels like this would have been the game that they would have made anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's like what you would kind of expect. But it's just here in Fortnite. Free to play, but still, there's a battle pass that is specific to what Rocket League is, while there's also a Fortnite battle pass. And you can use your characters that you already have with the skins that you already have and so forth. I hear people saying stuff like they bought certain skins, but like it doesn't feel real to have like certain characters. Like, why would so-and-so be running around on the ground shooting a gun? That doesn't make sense. But then they go into the music game and they're like, all right, well, that's cool. Right? So one, they now have a racing game within Fortnite. That's just a racing game. Basically a kart racer. Two, they now have a Minecraft within Fortnite that is official Lego.
Yeah.
Right?
Official.
They now have a creative zone that rivals Roblox, the only other major competitor they really had. Right? And they bought Harmonix, makers of Guitar Hero, makers of Rock Band. And so Festival main stage is basically Rock Band inside of Fortnite.
Yes, it
Go
is.
into it, pick your character, put your skin on, go through the list of licensed music they have, and watch the stuff come streaming down and press the buttons to go along with it. Correct, Jokes?
100%. Like, I'm just waiting because they already said they're working on you being able to actually just hook your guitar up and being able to use it within it as well too. I haven't tried.
They're gonna make it so all the instruments will work, and I know that there are people who are already doing it on PC.
I've been playing like there's a genre on PC called Clone Hero, which is literally just a big group of fans that just put together and kept the thing going. But now this is literally, instead of creating a whole separate game, let's just put it in Fortnite. Like, granted, doing it on the controller is okay, but it's not the same. But I was still here playing, like, let's see, Lady Gaga. Obviously, The Weeknd is in there. They teased Eminem when they did the whole Big Bang thing. They dropped in and had you play one of Eminem's tracks on there. It's like, it's insane. And I'm jamming on stage. And I'm jamming on stage. Hey, I'm jamming on stage as All Might. So I'm on stage with All Might. And then in between, you can do the emotes. So I got my man.
I'm looking at my Xbox right now, like, all right, 59 gig update. All right, I need to go ahead and do this.
It's gonna be like 60.2 for real.
Yeah.
Look, I was on Peter Parker. You know what I'm saying? Jamming with somebody. It's dumb, dog. Like, and look, this is the thing. It's the first iteration of it. Like, I know that they're going to update it and make it better. But here's the brilliance of it. Especially for the festival. So they have songs that are in a rotation. And just like they do with the marketplace, how like they have certain skins that are there, and then like every couple of weeks they rotate them out, and then it's the exact same thing with the songs. So like whatever songs are there, right? You can play them as long as they're there, and you can play them. You can keep playing for free. But if you always want to have access to that song, you need to buy it, and then you always have access to it.
I'm not mad.
And so I feel like the only reason why they didn't call this like Fortnite Rock Band or something like that is because they either can't get the licensing or don't have the rights to try to make your, like, people would expect for you to be able to bring like your rock band like games list over.
Oh,
which,
yeah, true. Yeah,
you know what I'm
that's
saying?
a little more difficult.
Which is still not completely out of the realm of possibility, right? I could still see that they could be working on something like this and allow that to happen, but at the same time, the money you might lose, right? So they obviously have to go in and negotiate licensing and stuff like that for the stuff to be available and to be in there or whatever. Obviously, you're going to have to pay for it for you to be able to have access to it, and it works just like the skin. So, like, if a skin isn't in the shop, you just can't buy it. There's no way to go and find it if it's not in the shop at the time. And they just rotate stuff out every week. But if you bought it, it's in your library and you can always have access to it. It's the same thing with the music. So, like, remember, this is also the same company in Epic that bought Bandcamp.
That something like that could eventually happen in some shape or form.
So I will tell you that I think that they're not likely to do that. What I think is happening is that Epic is working to become their own streaming music service. This is the company, Epic is the company that bought Bandcamp. And then they basically got, like, they just fired a bunch of people and basically scuttled it. But they own all the tech. Like, all of it is there for them. And Bandcamp streams music. Okay, Dizzle said it costs too much. Costs too much to do what? To do a deal with Spotify?
Epic got that money. Hey, listen.
They do, but you have to understand that, like, Epic is looking to be a platform. That platform includes streaming music. Like, it just does. Like, they want to be a full-on marketplace, which is why they went to war with Apple. Like, they're not going to do a deal with Apple Music. They literally are still in litigation with Apple.
They beat Google. That was a start.
Same thing, right? So that whole fight that they had where it's like, well, it's not really fair that Apple has access and owns this marketplace, and, like, we have to give them 30% of everything that we make when literally we have our own store and people could just buy directly from us. And Apple was just like, well, we'll just take Fortnite off the store. Then they did a backdoor deal with Microsoft, and Microsoft just now allows you a way to go in and play Fortnite on Apple product anyway. Who, by the way, Microsoft had their own streaming service twice and is looking to have their own market. K Dizzle said, plus Spotify is turning into a trash can. Epic is smart in what they're doing. Yep. And I 1000% agree. Part of the strategy that Microsoft is aiming for with the purchase of something like Activision and a giant that is king in mobile is to be able to have a third marketplace to rival what Apple has and what Google has, right? Epic can play in that space. Amazon already does. Amazon has streaming music. Most people don't even pay attention to the fact that technically they're already paying for streaming services that's basically free, because Amazon Music, if you have Amazon Prime, and almost all of you do, you get it for free. You don't even know.
You put me on that like weeks ago. Yeah.
Did you know, bro? Did you know that if you have Amazon Prime, they have a program within Amazon Prime that allows you to go to movie premieres for free? You can go see movies in the theater for free.
Excuse me? Wait.
Did not know this bit of information, sir. You been holding out?
And where the hell is this? Where do I access?
What tab do we click on?
And listen, there's like they have like hidden tabs or something.
No, you can literally go in and sign up for it, and they will notify you when there's like literal premieres in your area and stuff like that. And especially for like Amazon product, like Amazon owned like movies and stuff like that go to theaters. Like they have like literally have things where like you can go to theaters and watch movies in the theater for free because you have Amazon Prime. That is already a thing. So Epic, do not be surprised. Perp said, didn't they do that with Dungeons and Dragons? Yes, I believe so. Do not be surprised if Epic in some manner turns Fortnite itself. Like you get Fortnite on your phone, and when you open Fortnite, you just have a streaming service that plays music.
That's what it is.
It's just a hub, yeah.
Fortnite
plays the music you own, or literally just streams music as a whole, because they already together. Like I'm taking my prime right now. It's a real thing. Like literally just Google Amazon Prime like free free theater premiere benefits or something like that. It's crazy. Like again, like I didn't realize that, you know, I use DoorDash, I use Uber Eats. But what's the name of the other one? I can't even think of it because Grubhub. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 2 years of Grubhub for free. You can get your deliveries and stuff for free. So instead of paying for the Dash Pass or whatever with like
Reacher.
So that's the kind of stuff that like Epic is looking to like back, like again, and here's the thing, it's not about us. Because Fortnite isn't for us. Fortnite is for our children. They're already on it. So if you're already on the platform and you're 12, you're 8, you love Legos and you love cars and you love racing and you love shooting and you love Fortnite and you're learning music. They have been introducing music and doing concerts in Fortnite for like 6 years now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Major artists. Just like, hey, we'll make a thing that looks like you, whatever. And that came from the fight that artists were having with them for them stealing dance moves and putting dance moves in Fortnite. And people being like, you can't just do that.
Huh?
Yes, they want you to live in their space like Google. Right now, Epic and what Fortnite is far more dangerous and much more like what they're trying to get to happen in like Meta, in like the Web3 space.
Oh, there we go.
You know what I mean? It's called Prime Premiere. I told you.
Oh, yeah.
See how I got out? You on it now? You on it now, Joe?
Hey, listen. The first thing that popped up, like, I haven't watched Jack Reacher yet, but that Jack Reacher premiere joint they have, that joint is completely booked. Every single showing in every single city is booked.
I would have liked to go see. I would have loved to go see that in the theater for season 2. If I'd have known.
It's dope, just the fact that they do it.
Oh, it's tomorrow. No wonder.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's stuff like that popping up all the time. Everybody wants to have a platform, and right now, the most successful thing I see happening is Fortnite. K-Dill said, I went to play Lego Fortnite and was amazed, saw it immediately what they were building. I never play Fortnite. Exactly. But you might now. Because you probably play Rock Band. And Harmonix is doing that. So, like, bro, when they do a Dance Central, and they take Fortnite
yep,
and put them in that joint and just be like, yo, listen.
Because people already do it now, like, just modded on the internet. I see them all over TikTok. So they just, let's go and collect that money for ourselves. Let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah, and listen, people want is like, let's just go ahead and make it versus letting the random people just create it. We can make.
I'm just saying, just think about it. Like, again, if you're Epic and you're like, man, trying to do like music licensing and so forth is so hard and blah, blah, blah. Every developer that works at Harmonix is a musician. They all play instruments. They're all in